and get this going here. So we had a little interview with them earlier.
I saw that. It looked like it turned out really good.
You see it on Facebook?
Uh-huh.
What'd you think of that little video that we posted about it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Now, yeah, I know we had the interview and stuff, so this is going to be a continuation kind of deal of it.
Okay.
So, I'm Seth, down in the right-hand corner, with the Discord just popped over my face. Hector is the lead investigator and founder of H.P.I Paranormal Investigators. And we're going to do a quick little interview, see how this pans out. Then we'll try to do one a little bit later and have Rebecca with us. So, tell us a little more about yourself and where and when did you decide to start the H.P.I?
Well, my name is Hector Zeffirino, for who might not know. I am the founder and lead investigator of H.P.I Paranormal Investigators. We've been doing this for almost 14 years. It'll be 14 years in February. And it's been excuse my language, but it's been a hell of a ride. We've gotten to meet some awesome people, work with awesome people, build. In my mind, I don't call it friendships. I call it family. Because everyone that we end up working with or running into ends up being part of the H.P.I family. And I just love that. And coming from someone that was an only child, and so I didn't have no brothers or sisters, and family's huge for me, and it's awesome that this community of H.P.I.s turned into a family and exploded to what it is now.
Okay, what piqued your interest in paranormal?
Well, I've always been a fan of the shows on TV and the scary movies and everything. I've always been a fan of that. But I also was told many stories from my mom, mainly, that my grandma's house was haunted back in North Delta. And so I heard all the stories, even from my grandma when she was alive. So rest in peace to my grandma. It's been many years now, but she even told me stories too. And nothing ever happened to me at the house for a while. And then one evening I was there to get spoiled by my grandma and also help her out.
Yeah.
Spoiled. She was an old Mexican. She was an old Mexican woman, so that lady knew how to cook. So that's how I got spoiled.
Yeah, you can see it. Oh,
not now. Now I have. So I've lost a lot of weight. So I don't cook as good as she did.
You know me, I gotta tease you ever so often.
Oh, I know. But no, it's I was there spending time with her, and I was going to help her out around the house, and so I stayed the night. And it was crazy because this was my first time ever experiencing anything there at her house. And I was obviously I was there when I was younger. This happened when I was freshman in high school, so it was later down the road. And so I went to the bathroom because that was one of the projects that we were going to do the next day. And so the bathroom that was closest to me wasn't working at the time. So I had to go to the other end of the house that I would walk by her room. So I used the bathroom, went to the kitchen, got a drink, and then went back to the room I was sleeping in. And I saw the bedroom door at the bathroom close to the room I was staying in closed, and the light was on. And I was like, well, I could have swore my grandma was sleeping. So I went back to my grandma's room, saw that she was asleep. So I instantly thought, like, red light. I was freaking out. So I grabbed the baseball bat, and this was preparing for God knows what. And so I hurried up and opened the door, ready with the bat, and no one was in there. But what was weird is when I opened the door, it was very cold. And the window wasn't open, and it wasn't the winter time. And I walked in, just looked around, and I still felt that coldness. And at the corner of the bathroom is the sink and the mirror. And I looked, something drew me to the mirror. I was looking around, and I saw a woman standing behind me. Sorry. Swung around really quick and was about to hit the person with the baseball bat, and no one was there. And the reason why, like, people ask me, like, well, what if it was your grandma? I was like, well, instantly I knew the person I saw in the mirror was not my grandma. It was I still remember it to this day. It was a young woman, probably in her early 30s, in an old-fashioned dress, and kind of reminded me a lot of those showgirls. So you would see, like, back in the day in the saloons and everything. So I knew it wasn't my grandma, so that's why I was instantly ready to swing the bat, but no one was there. So then I ran to my grandma's room, I woke her up, and I told her what happened, and she was telling me maybe I finally saw something. And after that incident, I started, like, I was obsessed with what I experienced. I was doing research on my grandma's property, connecting stories of what happened to my mom, and it was just crazy to find out that history-wise was that there was a saloon that was nearby on her property before Delta became a town. And so that explained a lot of what I experienced and then what my mom experienced when she was a kid. And after that, I was hooked. I was like, man, this was so much fun, doing the research, and then it was crazy to experience what I experienced. And that's what made me to start doing investigations and start my own team and everything. And I've just been very blessed and lucky to have ran into so many awesome people like you and Patsy. Also, rest in peace to Patsy as well, because she was I never really experienced, like, told you 100% Seth, but what you and Patsy did to introduce me to Chris and Daryl, it just made H.P.I. so much better. And so you guys, I think 110%, along with so many other members, as you know, that we've had in the past too, that had that I never forget. I never forget the other members that they had to either move on because they moved out of state or got busy in their lives. But I always thank every single person that has made H.P.I. what it is now.
Thank you. It does mean a lot. Within the 14 years of experience in doing investigations, excuse me, what must be a lot of the footwork, long hours of the reviewing, sorting through all the footages and stuff like that, and you starting this one here in Illinois, how's it been going for you out there in Illinois?
It's different. It reminds me so much of when I first started out, being by myself, and which is fine. It's fine. It's I have friends and that are like family out here, but a lot of them have weird hours as well. But I'll tell you what is from what I've learned out of the almost 14 years before coming out here, I think that I could do this on my own. Um, I have been to some pretty awesome places out here, and nothing that has wowed me yet. Like obviously I had and back in Colorado, but what and I didn't plan this, but when I moved out here and I decided to continue to do investigations, I obviously kind of like mapped out future places. And it is so weird because a commercial came on and it said, Central Illinois, we're in the middle of everything. That's what the slogan was. And I was looking at it and I was like, holy crap, that is very true. Look what I'm working on at this moment. That commercial came on. That's very true because I am literally in the middle of so many locations. Obviously, one's here in Illinois and not far from Arkansas, where there's a lot of hot spots there. I'm close to the Ozarks, where there is so much stories of abnormal stuff happening at the Ozarks, the Appalachian Mountains, um, the list goes on and on. I am literally just hours away, and I am so excited for the future for H.P.I to explode out here too, with possibilities of investigations out here.
Excellent. What's one significant encounter or occurrence that personally happened to you that you would like to share with viewers out there watching today? Well, it's going to be it's since it's recorded.
Yeah.
I'm talking like the scariest thing that has ever happened to you out in the field. How did you deal with it, and how do you protect yourselves if it really is dark or demonic looking?
Most recently, I would have to say, because obviously we've experienced a lot of crazy things, and honestly, I would have to say is when Daryl and I were at the Melrose, it was around the time that we were filming with Ghost Adventures. It was literally the night before they showed up. We were in the basement, and I don't know, like you, Seth, you know that I've changed a lot when it has come to investigations. I admit it. When I first started, I was a hothead. I was wanting to.
Yeah, you were really antagonizing everybody when I first got with you guys, stuff like that. And it was like within the couple of years, you've tamed that down and stuff like that. You've tamed it down quite a bit now, then, haven't you?
I have, and I had to basically have something crazy happen to me to make me realize that. But this is not that story. Well, I would have to say was the scariest, in my opinion, is just because I know I've obviously known Daryl for such a long time, but I saw the look in his eye that I knew he wasn't feeding me crap, and I don't know, something in me was not. I was not the normal Hector like I have been lately. It was just something was antagonizing me, like wanted me to piss this thing off. And even Daryl told me, "You okay? It's time." He's like, "It's time. Let's go." And I kind of was ignoring him, it took him like finally like put his hands on me. He's like, "Hector, it's time. Let's go." And finally, when it seemed like I was in a trance a little bit. And when I was interviewed by Zach, honestly, it kind of felt like I'm not going to say I was possessed. I wasn't, but it was like a near possession because I felt like it was close. Because I felt like I wasn't myself. I felt that heaviness, and I felt like something was holding me down. It was like hard to breathe, and then and everything I was hearing other than my voice talking to this entity, was like an echo. It was like so far away that it was. That's why I wasn't concentrating, wasn't paying attention to when Daryl was calling my name and telling me enough is enough. But yeah, it was that entity there, and it blew my mind more that another person there in the building saw the same image as Daryl did, and that was that tall shadow figure with horns, and it had large, sharp teeth, and he was like grinning and shaking, moving his head back and forth because he was laughing. Because and Daryl said he was like this close. I didn't see.
Hey, Quentin, turn yours down, please.
Like I didn't see it, but he said it was right there. But like I said, I felt that heaviness, and that might explain that heaviness. Is that it was that figure, that entity was like right here, and yeah, that was a lot, and a lot to experience, and a lot to deal with, and honestly, to this day, I don't know if I would step foot back in the Melrose.
Well, speaking of the Melrose, wasn't it one of those investigations that we did there that we helped that place out?
Yeah. Obviously, the biggest nail in the coffin, if you want to say, was that farmer finding her head on his property up in Douglas Pass. Because they did the testing and found out that it belonged to her. But then we had a lot of, when we were doing that investigation there, we made contact with her spirit. And she kept telling us, because we kept asking the question about who murdered you, or were you murdered? Where were you murdered? And we were getting our questions answered. And she straightforward said it was her husband. And it was interesting there at first. She was kind of like throwing hints out because it's like she was afraid to say his name, because we all felt that his entity might be there, not until we found out that he was still alive. He's in prison as we speak right now. But there's something darker there, and obviously that just takes homework, like we've all did, to find out it wasn't his entity there. It was just something else darker, which was that thing in the basement. But and it's sad because her spirit was controlled by that entity that was in the basement. And but yeah, she first hinted at us that it was her husband that murdered us, and then she finally just straight out said his name. And it was crazy because I think all of us, after we heard that after she said her husband's name, I think all of us felt that emotion, that we were just like, wow. It's like, how could someone that say that they love you end up killing you? Like, I remember that we all felt that emotion.
Yep. Okay, we talked about the gathering already, which we already done had, which was an excellent venue and stuff like that. And thank you for having us there as well.
No, honestly, Daryl, he did such a fantastic job. Daryl, my mom, they did such a fantastic job. I know he, when we were discussing about wanting to do something like this, and he came up with the idea, I support him 100%. Like I said, I think that's a fantastic idea. And he, obviously, like I said, I wish I could have been there this year, but from what I've been hearing from everyone, it was a great turnout. And honestly, I got to still do a live video of my own again. But I just want to thank everyone that, if you guys are watching, thank everyone was a part of this event. practitioners, vendors, um, donating your time and showing us your fantastic abilities and items that you sell. Thanking the Ziggies for doing what they did. Like, they did not have to just work for tips. That was incredible. That was awesome to hear that they did that. And I heard that the food truck guy, that was his first event that he ever did, and I heard that he kicked ass, and that's awesome, man. It just it just makes me feel so good that everyone had a great time and everyone had a great, like, did really good there. And we're just looking forward to seeing familiar faces for next year, with it being in Grand Junction.
Definitely. Any thoughts of what you would like to see H.P.I in the next few years?
Honestly, I would love to see the gathering a household name. I would love to have that to the point where we have big boys calling us to wanting to be a part of the event, and people setting their schedules way ahead, saying we got to be there, and that's what I want. And I feel like nothing's going to ever stop us to be successful, the investigation department of this. But that, I for sure would love to turn the gathering into a household name. And eventually, with that being turned into a household name, I'll turn us, H.P.I, into a household name. And having more people out there, not just in our local areas, knowing that we're here and that we are willing to help them out with their paranormal problems, and that they're not going crazy, that if something's happening and they need help.
Right. So is it really hard to balance between H.P.I and work and home life?
Yes, it is. I kind of, being out here in Illinois, I kind of made a plan that during the summertime, when the girls are with their mom, is when I will go ahead and do the investigations. I'll go do travel more, do the investigations, and that's perfect because that's when the weather's perfect, and that makes it easier to travel. And so that's what the plan is. I'm just going to stick with that. I know it kind of sucks. I've had to turn down a few really big opportunities. But the thing is, I'm a dad. I got to be a dad. That's number one priority. And it's just, I love my girls to death, and I'll do anything for them. And it's just that I feel that those big opportunities that I had to turn down, I feel will be there again at the right time when I can make it.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll keep looking at making sure that this doesn't shut off, so that way if I have to restart it, I can. Any advice for the viewers out there that may be hesitant to step outside their comfort zone and into the eerie? Say, for example, someone who may have psychic abilities or afraid to come out about it, or that really wants to dive into it a little bit more.
Honestly, I have. I'm not going to say this because I know next time I see Don, he's going to beat me up. But I won't say that I don't have abilities, because everyone does have abilities. It's just that. So I can't, at this moment, relate to people that have those abilities. But what I can tell them is that the paranormal community, not just H.P.I or you guys, your team, or or Don and Marvin, this team, just the paranormal community itself, I have ran into being so welcoming that no one is judgmental. No one is going to look down on you or turn you into the loony bean or anything like that. It's just that we're all very understanding people. And like I said earlier, it's turned into a family. Like this event, the gathering, we see familiar faces from the first annual coming to the second annual, and it makes our lives, we get so excited. It's like
It's like a family reunion.
it's like a family reunion, exactly. And the thing is that because sadly a lot of the people that have these abilities are kind of loners, if you want to say, because they're afraid to express themselves. and I'll just tell you right now, is you open yourself up, you get friends. You'll have friends. You'll have new family that are friends, and we just welcome you. If it's not just us close by, other paranormal teams, like I know they'll welcome you with open arms.
Excellent. Let's see. What is one of your favorite bloopers to happen during an investigation? Even though, yes,
two.
I do know you have two. I was going to say that.
I have to say, obviously, when I scared the crap out of Ethan.
Go ahead and tell us about that.
And I saw that. I saw the video that you guys were discussing that. That was funny. We were at the Melrose. I want to say that was the very first time we ever went to the Melrose. And I was wandering around, and I noticed this little closet that when you open the door, some insulation falls out. So then...
wasn't there an ironing board in that too?
It was. So the insulation falls out first, and then the ironing board does. So then I put it back in there because it did make me jump a little bit. And then I told Ethan, I thought I heard a noise, so I kind of positioned myself where he was closer to that door, and I was like, I think I heard a noise over there. So he took his flashlight on his phone out there and walked towards there. And he opened the door, and it fell on to him, and he got scared, and it was hilarious. But I think the other funny one I would have to say was we were in Cripple Creek, and at the Outlaws and Lawmen Jail, an old jail museum, and Patsy, she was sitting on the toilet there. It was not a working toilet. It was so if the viewers would be like, "Oh, why are you seeing her on the toilet?" So it was on display. So it was a toilet that she was sitting on, and oh man, I know I could feel her punching me in the arm for saying this, but it was so funny. She didn't know we were recording, and she farted, and it echoed because it was metal. The toilet was metal.
Yep, Hector and I continuing the interview here. So let's see. What was one of your most memorable, eerie experience that you've had?
I won't talk about the Melrose because I just said that one earlier. But other than that, I would probably say the prison, the old prison out in Rawlins, Wyoming. I swear, the second we walked in and just even was given the walkthrough, activity started. We were hearing yells, we were hearing screams. Basically, what you would hear a prison when you walk into a prison, you were hearing those noises, and yeah, it was active. Like it was so crazy that we were there for super late. I want to say about like 3:40, close to 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was like we lost track of time. It was literally so much fun and so much activity that I literally we usually take breaks, and we did take a few breaks here and there, but we were so eager to get back into it to see what's going on that we didn't realize that we got in at 7 o'clock at night and went all the way to basically close to 4 o'clock in the morning, and didn't realize that it went that fast because it was active every second, and we caught images of shadow figures, a figure of a inmate. We got music playing, and people will be asking, "Well, why is music playing important?" When we captured it, we shared it obviously with the employee that was there with us, and he was like, "Oh wow, they played music in the speakers throughout the entire facility to drown out when people were dying in the gas chamber or getting hung in the gallows, so the rest of the inmates wouldn't hear the person dying."
Wow.
And we were just in shock. We were like, "Holy crap!" I cannot. We were like, we could not believe we got that. And on top of obviously everything else that we captured, and so yeah, that was one for the record books for sure. But obviously, we've been to so many that were for the record books. But it's so hard to just pick one.
Well, I know you had an investigator several years back that didn't pan out very well with an investigation that was a little creepy for you. You want to talk about that one?
Well, I wasn't going to, just out of respect, but I don't know if as long as it is, it's not a big deal.
No. I've talked about it a few times. That's the reason why I brought it up.
Well, no, it was over at the jail again, and that jail is already known as a pretty active place. It's already one of the most active places in Cripple Creek, and I had a lot of things happen to me there on top of what happened that night with you. So for the viewers to know, we're talking about you. So we were in solitary confinement where a lot of the activity that I experienced too happened in that cell, and quite a few of us were in there, and the inmate that was held in there was a child molester and a pedophile. He had a lot of accounts on him, and the story was that even the guards back then didn't like him, and along with the inmates, that they basically opened all the cell doors and they turned their head and let the inmates beat him to death. So no, I'm not obviously showing any kind of sympathy to that dude, but it was, a lot of people have experienced a lot of crazy things at that jail. But what happened to you, I respected you for. We never posted it because I didn't want. I felt like it was personal, not necessarily personal, like an attack between us or anything like that. It was just, I know I like say if that happened to me, I wouldn't want, because obviously once things are on the internet, things stay there,
Right.
even years and years and years down the road. I know I would not want my girls to see if what happened to you happened to me.
Right.
I would never.
That experience was changing and stuff like that. That's why I can talk about it now versus then.
Yeah.
It I've gotten a little bit better and understanding more for myself with that and stuff. So yeah, that for me was the scariest and stuff like that. And it was just like, wow. And that's the reason why I was like, well, I told my co-partner, which is Rebecca, and my girlfriend, just told her about it and stuff like that. I can talk about it now.
Yeah.
It's still heart wrenching, and like I said, it wasn't me and stuff like that. It is just one of those situations that is like, okay, that's still, but I can talk about it. You know what I mean?
And that's what I liked about us and about everyone that's been a part of HPI and that is even still now, is this that we all had an understanding and respected one another as far as we never went as far as ever faking anything or anything. Like, we weren't in it for the fame. We're not. Because if we were, uh, almost 14 years, we probably would have gave up by now.
Right.
But the thing is, it's just like, if we were wanting the fame or to show that, hey, we everywhere we go is we always get activity, we would have shared that at that moment, that video live. We would have shared it on our page. But you came to me personally, said that you didn't want it on there. So, like, how I view it is, if we were really wanting views and popularity, we would have put that up. But because we don't fake anything and we don't want that kind of popularity, then we don't fake the things. And that's the thing I love about us, is that I don't have a problem, and same with DJ. We don't have a problem when we go to places and we don't capture anything. Honestly, that makes us happier because we can tell the homeowner or the business owner, whatever, saying, hey, not saying no one's experienced anything, but we have not experienced anything doing this investigation. But we would love to come back and see and try one more time. And it just makes those people feel better.
Right.
Girls. And that falls under the whole thing about wanting to help people out.
Right, and that's totally understandable and stuff like that. And it, like I said, that experience for me, that was the worst one that I've had. And I know you can vouch on how bad it actually impacted me on that one.
No, I remember you worked yourself for a while. You were kind of like, not like attached to you, but you just felt very drained, and that's what I meant. You didn't feel like yourself. You were very drained and tired and exhausted, and it had nothing to do with being up late. It was just because of what you experienced.
Right. Let's see here. Let's see. And on on a scale of 1 to 10, that was one of your scariest ones, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, to go on with everything else I experienced, it was one of the scariest, because I had to put my hands on you and hold you against the wall. Like, I never have done that to, like, to anyone that I love, like friends, family, girlfriends, whatever. Like, I've never put my hands on them, and it just, afterwards, I'm just like, wow, I just cannot believe this happened.
And you know how what my strength is. That was not my strength.
Oh, I know.
And stuff like that. The reason why you had to hold me back. And I apologize for breaking that camera. I still remember that portion after the fact. And I do appreciate you not showing it and getting rid of that video, because I do remember that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Since we've got a full moon coming up and Halloween and everything like that, would you agree that, or disagree, that full moons and Halloween are sometimes the most craziest nights to do stuff like this, or to contact the other side? And do you have any personal advice of beginners that out there to regards of protecting themselves or from the unknown?
Absolutely. I feel that 100% because there's even a whole holiday that's based about it, was my heritage in the Hispanic community of Dia de los Muertos, and that is Day of the Dead. So it's just, obviously it's not just one day like how we celebrate here in America of Halloween. They they have multiple days, but have they believe in leaving items out for their ancestors, their family, and they truly believe when they have these parties for Day of the Dead that their loved ones are there at that party in spirit, and they get to communicate with them that way, either if that's through a spirit board or nowadays with spirit boxes or with digital recorders. And so absolutely I believe in that. And then there's moments too that the veil is thin. Obviously it is thin around the Halloween season. I know there's other times that the veil's very thin. I just don't recall. I remembered hearing Don talking about it. I just forgot those other days, unfortunately. But even with the how we're living now, how the state of our nation is, I've heard our the veil's thin now, and it's just so. It's I truly believe in that, and as far as for beginners, what I just highly recommend is don't be hotheads. Coming from an old hothead that had to learn the hard way, but just be like we always say when we do our investigations, when we go to these either historic places or sacred places or whatever, just be respectful. Like, don't take anything from there that's not yours. Don't disrupt anything. Don't um, vandalize anything. Just be respectful and speak with the spirit world like you are speaking to a living human being. And it's just that you are going to get activity if a place is haunted if you just show them respect. It's like you're going to get. It's like the old saying: if you treat someone with respect, you're going to get respect. That works for human beings, when us living human beings who work with the paranormal entities as well. So it's just be respectful where you go. Obviously, I know we have been to locations saying, well, you could, in order to get stuff, you have to be
More antagonizing.
agonize it or whatever. And if that's the case, just be very careful with how you antagonize it, because it's just that knowing, as long as in your mind, and a lot of these new people don't believe this, or they don't have this built into their mind. And if you have to antagonize something, and you're starting new, just one thing I tell people: keep in your mind when you're going to start this out is know that you're the stronger one. You are the stronger one. You're the one that's alive. These entities, these spirits, they have passed on. They're not alive. So you are alive. You are the stronger one. So believe that in your mind when you're doing these investigations, and then obviously protect yourself, because that's either through crystals or prayer, whatever, and you will be safe when you do these investigations.
Let's see. So one last thing before we kind of wrap up a little bit here is, would it be possible for your team and ours, which is the Paranormal Researchers Interest Group and Hotchkiss Paranormal, to collaborate on paranormal investigation in the future? Because my team and I would love to have you guys join us for one of ours, or vice versa. We would love to but have a collaboration of teams to go out on investigations and stuff like that.
Absolutely, I would love that. I would love to work back. I would love to work with you again, even if that's just for a night. It's you get to work with your girlfriend, who seems like a wonderful lady, and it's no, I would love that 100%. I'm kind of jealous because I know my team in Colorado will have a better opportunity than I do right now. But just so your guys' fans and our fans too, just know that the Daryl and I have been in contact with trying to figure something out to team back up, so I could team back up with the Colorado team, if that's either them joining on an investigation I set up either halfway or out here, or if that's either I go back over there and do something. It's and like I said, the summertime, when I do start doing investigations, you never know. Maybe one of those summer investigations might be one in Colorado. You never know.
That's true. So, but yeah, it's been a pleasure and everything like that. So I just want to say thank you for your time and the ability to be with H.P.I. on different situations, and looking forward to doing the investigations with you guys, and especially you, Hector, coming back or whatever the case may be and stuff. So it's just a great opportunity for both sides, because like I say, and like she says the same thing, is this is not a competition. We are all family and stuff like that. And it's, if you have any other information that you want to share or tell, you're more than welcome to post it onto our Facebook page.
Well, thank you very much.
And I hope you become a member of our Facebook page too.
I believe I am.
It's the Paranormal Researchers Interest Group. I know it's a long one. But we've also kind of shortened it up a little bit, and we've been calling it PRIG. PRIG. Paranormal Researchers Interest Group.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we just recently started doing that a little bit too. We do have our business cards, and I'll show that to you once we get done here and stuff. So, very much appreciated.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm very proud of you guys for starting out your thing, and it seems like it's a great success. So I'm very happy for you guys and proud of you guys, and just looking forward to the future. See what that holds.
Most definitely. All right. Well, till the Erie becomes reality, we'll see you again on the next go around.